everyone, this is Whitney, and welcome back to another episode of Spastic Chatter. If you're new here, Spastic Chatter is a platform meant to feature those in the cerebral-palsy community, and I get together with individuals with CP, like myself, to have an uncensored chat, if you will, about what it's like living with this type of disability. And I have with me Patrick, and he is a published author, and he wrote in wanting to be on Spastic Chatter, and I'm grateful to have him. So here is, I'll let Patrick introduce himself.
Hi, it's great to be here. I'm Patrick Souiljaert. I'm the author of Stay for Breakfast and I'll take the elevator. The books are about my life and how to overcome adversity.
That's awesome. So your book is about your life and how you overcome adversity.
Yes, I type the books with one finger.
That's awesome. Well, we're gonna talk all about that. So, can you tell me like what made you want to write a book, and then like talk about like your why?
That is a great question. My why is because I have this desire to help people and make a difference in the world.
That's awesome.
And I wanted to tell people how I've overcome adversity, and I wanted to help people to do the same. I see my cerebral palsy as a gift to help other people.
That's awesome. So you kind of you kind of like view your book as like sort of like in this self-help genre in a way.
Yeah, I wanted to entertain people. I wanted to inspire people, and I wanted to make people laugh because I'm a very funny person. And my book is very funny.
Well, you came to the right podcast because I pride myself on humor I've started doing a little bit of stand-up comedy, and on my bio I say that I'm an aspiring stand-up comedian who sits down. So we have that so we have the humor part in common.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I tell people that I'm a seated comedian with subtitles.
That's funny. So you're a seated comedian with subtitles?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the process of writing your book. Like, when did you start? And you talked about how you wrote it with one finger. Do you want to talk about like your whole writing process?
Yeah. Well, basically, if I could go back a bit further, I used to be a computer programmer, and I was a computer programmer for 10 years. I got bored of it, so I wanted to do something else. So I quit my job and I went into real estate investing. And over the course of a year or two, I went to look at over 50 properties, and at the end of that, I bought two of them, and it was hard work, but at the same time, I was writing a blog about my real estate journey, and people said I should write a book about my life. So I thought about writing a book for 2 years before I started to write it. And then once I started to I was fully focused. And what I did was I planned each chapter before I wrote the chapter, and I wrote a list of things I wanted to cover in the chapter, and as I wrote it, I crossed off the things on the list, and I was writing for about 4 or 5 hours a day, and when I wasn't writing, I was thinking about what to write the next day. So for 15 months, I was totally focused, and I wrote every day, and my plan was to write one book, but at the end of it, I had written over 200,000 words. So what I did was I cut it in half, and I wrote 2 books. But for 50 months, I was completely focused on my book. And as I said, I wrote for about 4 or 5 hours a day, and that was my life. I was so focused, and I want to say to anyone out there, you can do anything you want when you have the desire, the self-belief, and the persistence. That has helped me throughout my life. You've got to have the self-belief, the desire, and the persistence, and you can do anything. And I believe that everyone has an inspirational story in them. You just got to write it. You just got to write it or tell people.
That's very cool, and there's so much to unpack there. So you were a computer programmer, and then you switched to real estate, and then you went to writing a blog to writing your book, and that's very cool, because in society today, I don't know how it is, and you're based in the UK, correct?
Yeah.
But in the US, there there's like this misconception that disabled people don't work, and like they're not like we live on Social Security benefits, and like we're not contributing members to society. To sum it up, and like you're an example of that that is a misconception, but and then you said that you've written 2 books, and did you say it took you 15 hours or 50 hours?
No, it took me 15 months.
Oh, 15 months. Sorry, 15 months.
Yeah.
I don't know where I got hours. 15 months. So
No.
15 months.
I spent about 5 hours a day
Yeah, that's a,
writing, and when I wasn't writing, I was thinking about what to write the next day.
yeah, yeah. Well, well, like, do you want to talk about how you ended up getting your book published? Did you go through self-publishing, or did you
Yeah,
to a
I yeah, so I still published, and I had a publisher assistant to help me with my first book, and I had to get a libel lawyer to read through my book first, because my book is all about people and all the people that have been in my life, and I wanted to be careful. I was very careful not not to libel or upset anyone. So I had a lawyer. So I had to change the names of people in my book, and I learned a lot from self-publishing the first book, and when it came to publishing the second book, it was a lot easier and a lot quicker.
That's awesome. So you did your due diligence, and you said that you hired a lawyer, so to make sure that you weren't like uh I can't,
Like,
yeah,
I,
I can't say the I can't say the word I can't
I
say the word,
can't say
yeah,
either. I can't pronounce my own
yeah,
very well.
can't I can't pronounce it, but
I,
I get what you're saying. So um
yeah, I didn't want to lie for anyone. I
yeah,
was very careful about that, so.
yeah. Make
I had to edit it quite a bit, but it was good. I'm very proud of my books, and if you have a look on Amazon, I've got a lot of 5-star reviews of it. But
awesome.
basically, the reason I wrote the book is because I wanted to inform, entertain, and inspire people. And if I could write 200,000 words of one figure, you can do anything because I had the desire to do it. So I say to people, do what you love in life because you will do it well. And
That's very cool.
yeah,
Has your book led you to any like kind of like speaking engagements and things like that?
I have done a few, but I need to do more because the difficulty with self-publishing it's easy to self-publish a book, but then no one knows who you are or about your book. So you got to promote your book, and that's what I'm doing now.
Yeah, so like reaching out to people and getting your getting your getting your voice heard and things like that,
Yeah,
like you did with me.
yeah,
It's all about that grind still.
yeah, it's
uh,
cool.
that's awesome. That's awesome. So what are some of your future goals, Patrick?
I would like to do more public speaking, and I say to people, do what you have to do in life because you will do well. And if you can come up with a product or service to add value to people's lives, you're on a winner.
That's very cool. So Patrick, I usually end my my interviews by asking the person I'm interviewing if they have any advice for those watching. So do you have any advice for somebody that might want to publish their own book, or like have a career or any kind of general advice?
Yeah, my advice is do what you have to do, and also feel the fear and do it anyway. Because, for example, I was a bit scared to come on this podcast because I haven't done many podcasts recently. But when you feel the fear and do it anyway, you feel great afterwards. And I say to people, step out of your comfort zone because that is how you grow.
Exactly, that's awesome, and you should not have been nervous to film my podcast. I I was really happy to get your email, and uh I love that advice to step out of your comfort zone, because fear is the only is like a stepping stone to like growth. So I love that. And
Okay,
I will leave a link to your book so that people in the description so that people can check you
okay.
out.
Can I, can I just say that if people want to read the first couple of chapters of Stay for Breakfast, they can do that on my website by going to stayforbreakfast.com/download. But
Awesome.
if you could put that in your description, that would be great. And the other advice I have for people is if you're nervous about doing something, treat it as a game, because when you treat it as a game, you won't be so nervous. And if it doesn't go so well, just move on to the next game.
Yeah, it's all about a learning experience, but
Yeah,
I will definitely leave that in the description, so that people can read the first couple of pages of your book to get a feel of, and
yeah,
hopefully they buy and learn all about you. But
yeah.
but if you're watching this and you want to be on an episode of Spastic Chatter, feel free to reach out to me through whatever platform this is on. Uh and check back for another episode of Spastic Chatter. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.